What's going on, family? What's going on? What's going down? What's shaking? Welcome to another episode of Super Black Comic Book Reviews by Jonathan Soul. Now, I want to hip you guys to, I think it's a comic that will be available soon. It's actually a reward from the folks who supported a particular Kickstarter by Roosevelt Pitt. Roosevelt Pitt is the creator of Purge. And Purge is a superhero from the 90s. You know, back in the day, there was a comic book renaissance in the 90s. Like, I don't know, 92, 93, 94. It was bubbling because there was something happening called the Black Art Expos. And so those were times when, you know, black businesses would rent out like not a stadium, but like a convention center, something like that. You'd have all of these wonderful artisans there, sculptors, painters, of course, the shea butter and the, the shea butter and the frankincense people and stuff like that. And so then you would also have this comic piece. Now, so these guys, this brother, he was part of a group, and they had various titles. It was four brothers. Speaking of Roosevelt Pitt right now, and they sold 1 million copies apiece in like 93, 94, 92, 93, 94, that period of time. And this is before social media, okay? So what we're seeing now is another renaissance. And depending on who you listen to, it happens with us every 30 years, kind of a thing. So, you know, the thing about it is not all of their art made it into 2020. You know, I got my brother, man, that started back then. I didn't even know about Purge back then. And sorry about that. All my friends notifying me and shit. Let's turn this off. So anyway, so basically what we're doing, right, is we're going to go over this book, which introduces a couple of characters. Now, these folk right here, so let me start. So this is like a issue 0 of Astounding Adventures. What is Astounding Adventures? Astounding Adventures is supposed to be an animation that's coming out based on the brother and based on Purge and their supporting characters. Okay, so this is just a character. This is just a one shot introducing a couple other characters. All right. So let's get into it. And I'm going to talk, you know, you can look at the picture and figure out for yourself. You can see Roosevelt Pitt. He's the guy. Not only is he an excellent writer, he's an excellent team builder. He builds a lot of really strong teams. And Jay Kelley is the creator, the writer who created the brother. And the brother's a very popular character. So let me define some of these characters. Number one, the brother. The brother, think of Malcolm X plus Doctor Who, okay? And he has a little teenage companion, young lady that he travels with. And they go around and they kind of solve mysteries, fight evil that's attacking the African diaspora in different times and places. Okay, that's their situation. All right, so we look here, we can see these characters, you know, has that kind of anime style or whatever, manga style. The art is really strong, and I'm really loving the color. You see how they take the approach to the color? That's gorgeous. And so these, monsters coming out the wormhole or whatever. So this is an opportunity to introduce two other heroes. So this is Purge. Purge, think of Purge as almost like I would say Purge, which is created by Roosevelt Pitt, if I didn't say that earlier. And of course, the brother was created by Jay Kelley. Come on, Jay Kelley. Okay, now. So, Purge, he was created by Roosevelt Pitt in the 90s. Think of him as like a cyborg combo with a Tony Stark Iron Man vibration. And what I mean by that. I'm not going to tell you all the background because I really want you to buy these books. And since I'm on an iPad, I guess I can't show you the physical book, but I wonder if I can. Let me see if I can. What happens if I do? Let me see. Let me try. What the hell? Let me try. Is this fuck up? This fuck up. All right, so I got the physical book out, and I'm gonna get off of here, and I'm going to try to turn on the camera. Let me see if it'll let me do it. Oh, shit. Okay, this is the first book. Uh-oh, technology. All right, so let me share this real quick. And I bought this off of kid-comics.com. But Roosevelt Pitt is coming out with his own website pretty soon. Now, this is Purge, okay? This is Purge. All right. This is the physical book. Long story short, he was kidnapped when he was a little kid. He was experimented on. And, so much realism in this book is crazy. And so I'm going to skip. And he became this, kind of super-powered individual with a lot of gadgets and a really cute AI. And there's so much going on in this book. Y'all see this, right? So this lady, she's talking to the president, who's the sister, right? And when the sister turned her back, she's changing into this supervillain form. Now, look at, I don't know if y'all can see it. Look at that Kennedy order 11111. I got to look that one up. But anyway, so this is what Purge is about. And this is the brother out of uniform. Okay? He's like an industrialist, and he runs this city called New Salem in North Carolina. So it's a dope book, all right? Okay, so I'm going to get out of this. Go back to there. Okay, so that's Purge. Now, this guy, ShadowBoxer, he's a new guy. But I'm unfamiliar with him, but they're all introduced for you guys in this little one shot here. All right, so they're fighting the people, and Imani is the young lady's name. So the reason why I think this book is important is if you can, and I only say that, and I say that in the most respectful and what's the word I want to use? Gentle way possible. If you can, support Kickstarters. Why? Because this is the kind of content that we want to see. And this is the kind of content that'll blossom into movies, and games, and things that sort. Because all of these folks, they have dreams of having their characters in more than one medium. Okay, every last one of them. Okay, so here's the Kickstarter that I supported. Okay, this is a while back, obviously. And one of the things is I always, if I can, I always try to book. Now, why I kept saying if you can? Because there's 40 million people that apply for unemployment. 40 million people. Now, what does that mean? That means we're in a fucking recession. That's what it means. That means the politicians don't give a fuck, yada yada. But it also means that people can't contribute as much as they could if more people was working. So if you can't, then don't. You support where you can. Sometimes that's just sharing. If you share it to your group, then the people who can afford to do it, will contribute. That's what that means. So, when I say buy my novel, I mean $2.99 might not seem like a lot to me right now, but there was a time in my life when I couldn't spare that. To be perfectly frank with you. You know what I mean? So if you can buy the novel, buy the novel. If you can't, don't worry about it. The fact that you're listening to my, something that I wanted to see on the internet but couldn't find. So, the fact you watch my videos means a whole lot to me. You see, I interact with y'all in the comments, and shout out to everybody who, who makes, good comments and stuff and everything. I appreciate it. It's kind of nice to, bing, bing. Oh, somebody commented. Oh, the sister. Oh, the brother, kind of a thing. That's really cool. So yeah, so if you contribute, you can. All right. So anyway, Roosevelt Pitt is the guy, and so I showed you the physical book, and so what Roosevelt does, he kind of connects with a lot of other brothers, and who have superhero properties, and then they work together, which I think is beautiful. And sooner or later, all of these are going to become either animations or movies or video games in some cases. I can't tell you everything because, people, because I have such a singular focus and I really give a fuck about the people. Sometimes people come to a brother and say, hey, listen, this is what I'm working on. Don't tell nobody. And I'm not. All I can tell you is that any support that you can give is going to be, it's going to pay off. You're going to start to see this content in places that you did not necessarily expect. it would make sense. But places you wouldn't necessarily expect. Folk are making moves because this is valuable. This is economically valuable. Generally speaking, when it comes to black content creators and the white media, they see our content as disposable. Okay, I'm going to make some money from it for a while and then I'll toss it. That's why some of your favorite sitcoms just get canceled out of no reason. Okay, we built up the audience for Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. Thanks, Black Show. Now we're canceling you. We're going to put a white show. That's what happens. You know, any media that you look at, gospel music. I used to be a Christian back in the day before I studied history. I had a gospel radio program when I was in college. I loved that shit, man. Still do. It's still a beautiful art form, even though I know it's a religion that gave us to keep from running away and shit. But a lot of that groovy music from the 80s and 90s didn't make it to digital. So it's up to us to buy the content when we can and to keep it around for our cousins and our brothers and sisters and our nieces and nephews and for you all to have children, for our children. And for us, you know, it's important. So before I go on a little preaching rant or whatever, which I am wont to do, I will stop. But just to let you know that this stuff is out here. And I kind of feel like I'm like the, you know how the Silver Surfer was the guy who went to a planet and looked out for Galactus and so forth like that? And that's not even a good one because Galactus ate the planet. So then I would say there was this one guy in Crisis on Infinite Earths, but that's y'all too young. Y'all wouldn't remember that one. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just the guy that tells you these are your options in terms of supporting black artists who want to take black culture and kind of bring it into the superhero kind of vibration. Our culture is amazing, yo. And sometimes we don't recognize how wonderful it is until, you know, somebody else on the outside says, hey, this is great. I can make $1 million off of this. So, you know, the wonderful thing about, I guess, us being able to talk to each other through social media and different things like that is we start to realize how wonderful our culture is. And it's not to be elitist. Or I'm not one of those people that's, oh, kings. Everybody wasn't no fucking king. King is always like a teeny tiny portion of the population. And if he wasn't a king, you got treated like shit. It's better to think of us as what we really are, which is brothers and sisters. And we help our brothers and sisters because when they succeed, we succeed. All right. So these are my brothers and sisters. And then I'm supporting them. So I'm just encourage y'all to support them too.